Every time you spend $200 on a single Disney ticket, you aren't just paying for a family vacation. You're actually paying for one of the biggest corporate blunders in entertainment history. In the winter of 2017, Disney's leadership made a massive gamble. They bought 21st Century Fox for a staggering $71.3 billion. It was a ruthless boardroom play designed to build a streaming monopoly and crush competitors like Netflix. But instead of an easy victory, this wild expansion triggered a massive $11.4 billion loss in their streaming division. When a corporation loses that kind of money, someone has to pay the price. But the top executives didn't take a pay cut. Instead, they quietly passed that massive $11.4 billion bill directly to the families visiting their theme parks. And here is the most shocking part. In March of 2026, the executive who engineered this aggressive strategy, forcing everyday consumers to bail out the board's disastrous mistakes, didn't get fired. He was handed the ultimate promotion, crowned as the leader of the entire empire, and given a staggering multi-million-dollar fortune that will leave you absolutely speechless. I will reveal the exact jaw-dropping payout they gave him at the end of this video. Before we expose exactly how they pulled this off, make sure to subscribe to the Rivalry record right now. The archives are open, and trust me, you won't regret it. Welcome to the billion-dollar transformation of the Disney parks. To truly understand how this happened, you have to look at the original blueprint. When Walt Disney opened Disneyland in 1955, his vision was simple. It was built for the average working family. The admission price at the gate was exactly $1. Walt believed that the experience should be accessible to everyone. It was a business, yes, but it was built on a foundation of mutual loyalty between the creator and the consumer. Fast forward to today, and that dream has been completely overhauled by a boardroom obsessed with raw profit margins. The Disney of today is locked in a fierce media war, and over the past 2 decades, their strategy shifted from creating family memories to treating loyal fans as an infinite cash machine. It all stems from a desperate race to win the global streaming wars. When Netflix began dominating the living room, Disney panicked. To build Disney Plus, executives went on a reckless spending spree. The $71.3 billion Fox acquisition was a massive power move, but it loaded the company with a terrifying mountain of debt. As the streaming platform burned through cash, ultimately racking up $11.4 billion in operating losses, the top executives found themselves trapped. They needed huge amounts of cash, and they needed it immediately. They couldn't raise streaming prices too high without causing mass cancellations, and the movie box office was way too unpredictable. So the board of directors turned their sights toward the most captive, loyal audience they had left, the theme park visitors. The Disney parks were quietly transformed into a high-pressure profit engine. The executives knew that parents have a deeply emotional, generational attachment to the parks. And in the cold world of corporate finance, emotional attachment means infinite pricing power. The price hikes were executed with mechanical precision. A single-day ticket was aggressively pushed past the $200 mark. But raising ticket prices wasn't enough. The real financial trap was the quiet removal of free perks. Services that had been free for decades, like the original FastPass system that let families skip lines for free, were completely wiped out. In their place, Disney introduced complex digital paywalls like Genie Plus and Lightning Lane. They engineered a system where simply buying a ticket wasn't enough. If you didn't want to spend your entire day waiting on hot asphalt, you had to constantly pay extra for upgrades inside an app. A standard family vacation now requires an enormous financial sacrifice, effectively forcing everyday consumers to bail out the disastrous streaming bets made by executives in California. The strategy has become so intense that even the architects of Disney's past are sounding the alarm. Michael Eisner, the legendary former CEO who expanded the parks in the 90s, publicly warned about the limits of this model, stating that relying so heavily on theme parks to cover up massive corporate losses is a delicate and potentially dangerous balancing act. But the most fascinating part of this corporate scandal isn't just that you paid the bill, it's how the board rewarded the man who pulled it off. Remember the massive executive promotion and the staggering payout I mentioned at the beginning of this file. In March of 2026, the Walt Disney Company officially named its new CEO Josh D'Amaro. For years, DeMauro was the chairman of Disney Parks. He was the executive directly responsible for implementing the new pricing tiers, cutting the free perks and maximizing the financial squeeze on visitors. Because his division successfully generated the massive profits needed to keep the company afloat during the streaming disaster, the board didn't punish him. They handed him the keys to the entire empire. Upon taking the role of CEO, Josh DeMauro was handed a compensation package valued at a staggering $45 million. The system worked exactly as intended. The executives make a multi-billion-dollar mistake. The everyday consumer absorbs the cost, and the manager who balances the ledger walks away with a historic fortune. The magic isn't gone. It was simply optimized for the shareholders. But the entertainment industry isn't the only sector driven by hidden financial mechanics and ruthless corporate strategies. Behind the polished marketing of every global brand, there is a shadow war raging for your loyalty. Subscribe to the Rivalry Record, and you will be surprised by what we uncover next.